The Royal Rumble is officially in the books, and every single year this is the most anticipated PLE on the calendar. The hype is always enormous, and as always, opinions are completely split. Some fans are calling this one of the best Royal Rumbles in years, others say it missed the mark entirely. So in this video I want to break down what happened at the Royal Rumble, go through the show chronologically and give you my honest thoughts on the booking decisions WWE made, what worked, what didn't, and where things could go from here. Let's start at the beginning with the Women's Royal Rumble match. The Women's Royal Rumble kicked off with an interesting dynamic. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair started the match at numbers 1 and 2, and considering their tag team partners, it immediately added tension. Both women teased the idea of turning on each other, but in the end they choose to wait for more competitors to enter. A smart choice and a nice bit of storytelling early on. As the ring began to fill up, the match clearly needed someone to clean house, and that role went to Jordynne Grace, entering at number 8. She came in with intensity and picked up several eliminations, instantly making herself feel like a threat. One of the first big moments came when Charlotte Flair eliminated Nia Jax, but in the chaos she also took out Alexa Bliss at the same time, the partnership ending not with betrayal but collateral damage. That theme continued throughout the match. We saw multiple tag partners and allies eliminate each other, Kairi Sane taking out Asuka, Liv Morgan deliberately eliminating Raquel Rodriguez. It really felt like a rumble built around fractured alliances. We also got several sequences featuring Maxine Dupree, Becky Lynch and Natalya, now known as Natty, all women tied to the Women's Intercontinental Championship title picture. One surprise for me was how early Becky Lynch was eliminated. A lot of fans expected a Becky Lynch vs AJ Lee moment, possibly setting up something for WrestleMania. Well, that never happened. In terms of surprise entrance, this year's Women's Rumble felt restrained. Aside from Brie Bella returning and a few NXT names like Jacy Jayne and Sol Ruca, there weren't many jaw-dropping moments. Entry number 30 was Tiffany Stratton, returning after losing her title. But honestly, was that really a surprise? I think most people saw that coming. What did shock me though was the absence of Bianca Belair. We haven't seen Bianca on TV since she broke her finger at WrestleMania 9 months ago. No Bianca, no Paige, no Trish Stratus, nor Lita. And that's where I think the Women's Rumble lacked that classic anything can happen factor. That said, the ending stretch was very strong. Lash Legend had an excellent showing, eliminating multiple women including the Bella Twins and Charlotte Flair. But for me, the real standout of the match was Sol Ruca. Her athleticism, her presence and that breathtaking finisher, she looks like the future of the women's division. It feels inevitable that she'll be a full-time main roster star sooner rather than later. Then it came down to the final 3, Sol Ruca, Liv Morgan and Tiffany Stratton. And they had a great closing sequence. In the end, Liv Morgan won her first Royal Rumble. And honestly, I think Liv was the right choice. She's massively over with the fans, she can deliver strong matches, and while I would have loved to see Sol Ruca win her first Rumble, Liv opens up multiple storylines heading into WrestleMania. I wouldn't be surprised if we're heading toward an internal Judgment Day conflict over the Women's Championship. Overall, I'm happy with how WWE booked the Women's Royal Rumble. My main criticism is simply the lack of truly big surprise entrants. Next up was AJ Styles vs Gunther, with AJ's career on the line. This match had a huge fight feel, and what made it special was the uncertainty. Nobody really knew if AJ Styles' WWE career would end that night, exactly 10 years after his WWE debut. In the end, it did. Gunther defeated AJ Styles, cementing himself as WWE's ultimate career killer. Goldberg, John Cena, now AJ Styles. AJ had previously announced that he planned to retire in 2026, but most fans expected a long retirement tour similar to what we saw with John Cena last year. Instead, WWE went in a different direction, and while many fans are upset about the booking, I genuinely believe this was AJ Styles' decision. He teased leaving his gloves in the ring, then picked them back up. To me that suggests this wasn't his final wrestling match, but it was his final WWE match. With his contract reportedly expiring soon, this feels like a respectful and meaningful send-off while also elevating Gunther even further. Some people still call Gunther boring or uninteresting, and I just don't see it. He delivers incredible matches with everyone. He even had a solid match with Pat McAfee last year, someone with very little ring experience. This career killer version of Gunther is fascinating, and now the big question is, who's next on the list? The third match of the night was Sami Zayn vs Drew McIntyre for the WWE Undisputed Championship. This was a solid match, but the outcome felt pretty obvious. Drew McIntyre retaining was the right call. He needs time to establish himself as a believable dominant champion before dropping the title. Sami Zayn will win a World Championship one day, but the Royal Rumble wasn't the right moment. And then it was time for the main event, the Men's Royal Rumble match. Obafemi entered at number 1 and immediately looked like $1,000,000. Huge reaction from the crowd, confidence, presence, star aura. Number 2 was Braun Breaker, but before he even reached the ring, he was attacked by a hooded, masked man. And that raises a big question, who was it? Was it Seth Rollins? Was it Austin Theory? Was it Logan Paul? Was it somebody else? My guess, it was someone connected to the Vision, possibly even working under Seth Rollins. Either way, it's a great mystery storyline, and I'm looking forward to it. Obafemi dominated early, eliminating Braun Breaker, Rusev, Solo Sikoa, Rey Mysterio and Matt Cardona. Yes, Rusev and Cardona returned only to be eliminated quickly, but that's the reality of the Royal Rumble. To build someone like Obafemi, you need those moments, although I really feel bad for Rusev and Matt. We also got a fun spot with both El Grande Americanos recreating the Spider-Man meme perfectly executed. We saw the debut of Powerhouse Hobbs, now renamed Royce Keys. Unfortunately, with so many big men already in the ring, he didn't get much time to shine. But I'm curious to see what WWE does with him next. Then the Vision took control, until LA Knight returned to a massive reaction. He eliminated Austin Theory and Bronson Reed, getting his revenge on the Vision. The next entry was the Beast himself, Brock Lesnar. Suplexes, destruction, chaos. Lesnar and Obafemi finally came face to face in the middle of the ring, two absolute monsters. I'll admit I was disappointed when Brock eliminated Oba from behind. I wanted Oba in the final 4. But if this leads to Obafemi vs Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, with Oba going over, I'm completely fine with that. One big negative for me was Jey Uso's entrance. Coming through the crowd, constant yeeting, replaying his entrance music during the match, it nearly cost us to miss Brock Lesnar's elimination by Cody Rhodes and LA Knight. It completely killed the seriousness of the moment. Then came Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu showing off their power. A match between these two in the near future is definitely not off the card. Cody Rhodes' elimination was another talking point, thanks to the interference from Drew McIntyre. Personally, I didn't like that. We've seen enough Cody vs Drew over the past year. I want fresh challengers in the title picture. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna get Cody vs Drew again in the upcoming weeks. And then it was time for the final entry number 30. And it was Gunther, the ring general. After ending AJ Styles' career, he entered the Rumble last and the crowd hated it. But that was the point, more heat for the ring general. He was the only superstar missing who already declared for the Royal Rumble match, so not really a shocker. Javon Evans deserves praise as well, lasting nearly 50 minutes as the Ironman of the match. Then it came down to the final 4, Roman Reigns, Logan Paul, Randy Orton and Gunther. When it came down to Roman and Gunther, for a moment I really felt like WWE might do it. 2 massive wins in one night. They played with that fear perfectly, but in the end WWE played it safe. Roman Reigns won his second Royal Rumble. Does it make sense? Yes, they clearly want Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania, possibly against CM Punk. But long term, they missed the chance to build the future. Roman won't be here forever, neither will CM Punk. If you always push the same names, how do you create the next generation? If you want to see how I would have booked the Men's Royal Rumble, check out my cinematic Royal Rumble booking in WWE 2K25, link is in the description. So here are my final thoughts for the Men's Royal Rumble. The Men's Royal Rumble started hot, but lost momentum towards the end. Once again, the lack of truly massive surprise entrance was noticeable. AAA stars are fine, but it's hard to justify them when there's no room for names like Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura or Carmelo Hayes. There's one more thing I really want to talk about, and that's WWE announcing Royal Rumble entrance weeks in advance on Raw and SmackDown. I understand why they do it. It helps promote the event, it helps sell the show, and it gives casual fans a reason to tune in. But at the same time, it takes away so much of the magic. Imagine if Brock Lesnar hadn't been announced beforehand, imagine Roman Reigns not being confirmed in advance. When that countdown hits 0 and their music suddenly hits, that's when the arena explodes. That's when the Royal Rumble feels special. Instead, we already know who's coming. We're waiting for the entry number instead of reacting to the moment. And I really think that's one of the reasons why recent Royal Rumbles feel like they're missing that anything can happen atmosphere. The Royal Rumble should be about shock, surprise, and disbelief, not about checking names of a list we already saw on TV. I get the marketing side of it, but in my opinion, WWE sacrifices big-time moments inside the match for short-term promotion. And that's something I hope they reconsider in the future. Overall, this Royal Rumble was good. The Women's Rumble was very strong, AJ Styles vs Gunther was fantastic, Sami vs Drew was solid, the Men's Rumble was okay. What really stings is the absence of that one huge surprise, the moment that flips the arena upside down. Maybe times have changed. Maybe the Royal Rumble is no longer about massive surprises and more about setting up a clear #1 contender. Either way, that's my take. Are you happy with this year's Royal Rumble? Who should have won in your opinion? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.